Hope! Here we go, back at it and thirsty for more. Lunch with Baum. Hey, if you're watching live, drop a 1. Watching the replay, drop a 2. If you're a first timer, drop a 3. Who's this crazy guy, Lunch with Baum, anyway? I'd love to connect with you. So my name is Frank Baumholtz, been a high school strength coach and PE teacher for 21 years. Run my own gym. Hey, what's happening? T-Man, what's up? When you come on, drop me some thumbs up. Anyway, been a high school strength coach and PE teacher for 21 years. Run my own gym. Started doing these a while back. I always thought if I could just connect with one person a day or one person a week or even one person a year, help them with their little mental strategy, maybe a little bit of drive, a little motivation, just one person. If I could just connect with one person, it's worth it. So I always love doing these things. So if you value what I got going on, please like it and share it. Topic today is 10 ways to make a habit. So many people, we're in this, new year, new you, and a lot of people are having success. And real quick question though, how many of you are making progress to whatever goals that you've set? All right, this is week 4. This is the beginning of week 4. So we already got Monday, Tuesday. Week 4, how are you doing? Are you making progress? Or are you just spinning your wheels like you're stuck in the mud, right? You got to make progress. If you are trying to lose weight, you should be, if you lost 1 to 2 pounds a week, you should already be 6 pounds down. And if you're not, change. Do something different. Hopefully some of this today can bring value to what you got going on. But quick announcement real quick. If you missed the other day when I did my lunch with Baum, just about MVP, we've got our new locations up and running. We're going to have a grand reopening coming up here in February to make it official. But we've got our adult group training. We've got our sport performance training. And the big thing is we've got our batting cages are up and running. So we've got a full live cage. We've got a light flight cage. We've got multiple T stations. We've got tons of instruction. We've got our Saturday Academy running with our catching camp, our pitching and arm care, and all of our hitting lessons that we have. So if you've got a kid or you're looking for some hitting lessons, all right, you want to come and hit with some of the best coaches around, my business partner and I, we're rocking the house with that. So Sean and I, we're taking calls, and we're sending. Once we fill up, we're gonna put a waiting list together. So hit us up with that. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, let's get to it. 10 ways to create a habit. And I've talked about this a ton. It's almost like beating a dead horse. But the crazy thing is, it's like working with an athletic team, because that's the world that I live in. It's about breaking things down to build it back up, right? You've got the game in some event that you have, and then you have your practice setting, right? And then you break your practice down into your warm-up, and then you have your fundamentals, and you have your group drills, and then your team drills. Your life's the same way. Just set it up that way, all right? And if you don't know how, one of my things in here is hire a coach. All right, that's what I'm here for. If I can help bridge the gap for you so that you can attain your goals, then go ahead and hit me up. But here we go. All right, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be, I live in the fitness world. What up, girl? Hey, got to get a hold of you. Anyway, pick one thing. Whatever it is, all right. It doesn't have, whatever it's fat loss or weight loss, or you wanna be more productive in your job, or whatever it is. If you're gonna set a goal, all right, in order to make it a habit, pick one thing. All right, I've talked about this a ton. Behavioral change is interesting, okay? Too many times people pick a whole bunch of different things, and then there's no wonder why they can't accomplish it. Just look up behavioral change, right? If you pick too many things to fix or change or add into your life at one time, you have less than 5% chance of it ever happening. But if you pick one thing, and everybody's got something different, they say it takes 21 days to make it habit. It takes 6 weeks. Shoot, everything works for 6 weeks, maybe 90 days, 10,000 hours, right, to be an expert at something. But pick one thing. Pam, what's happening? Pick one thing. If you pick one thing and you stick with it, you have an 80-some% chance of actually making it a daily life habit, okay? And one of the things is, whatever you do, if you can do it for 90 days in a row consistently, like 86% of people that stick with something for 90 days, they're going to be doing that same thing a year later. Okay? Let's see. Number one, pick one thing to work on. Your goal. The goal is to keep the goal. The goal is number 2. Set a SMART goal. All right, goal setting, I talked about it a bunch. It needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. It's got to be attainable. Mikey Arcans, what is happening, my man? How you doing? We were just talking about you at the gym and this morning. Craig and I, we were wondering, how the heck are you? So tell me what's going on, my man. Anyway, so number 2 is just be smart, right? You got to set your goal. The goal is to keep the goal. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. You got to set a time. If you don't have a date written down, talked about that before, about goals. Only 3% of the population actually writes their life goals down. It's no wonder people can't ever accomplish anything. Okay? Get a pen out, get a paper out. Look at this. I got notes all over the place. I write stuff down all the time. Write it down. Okay? Let's see. Number 3, this is my favorite one. Add versus subtract. It's easier to add something than it is to subtract. Let's just talk about weight loss, for example, because that's part of the world I live in. Okay? One thing is, I tell folks, get a water bottle and drink more water. Number 1 is you got to stay hydrated. And people are just like, well, yeah, that's super simple, because most people won't do it. So I can tell them that they need to eat more lean protein, and they got to eat their fruits and vegetables, and they got to avoid certain things, grains and excess stuff like that, processed foods and things. But if they won't even drink more water, they're not going to do anything else. So why would I even waste my time, right? So that's the thing. Add versus subtract. The next one is number 4 is why. Ask why. Why are you doing what you're doing? I've always said, if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not big enough. All right, my 3 girls and my wife Heather, that makes 4. All right, my girls, they're my why. They're why I do everything. They're why I try to be fit. That's why I work hard. Everything I'm doing, I do for them. All right, and my girls humble me. They teach me patience, compassion. All right, they're the drive in everything that I do. So they are my why. So if your why doesn't make you cry, then figure something else out. Okay, let's see. Number 5, tell a friend, make it public. Do a Facebook Live like I'm doing. If you want to lose 30 pounds, a while back, about 3 years ago, when I kind of started on my own fitness and personal journey, one of the crazy things about as a coach is, and a parent can attest to this too, it's not just the coaches, we spend all of our time helping other people, and at some point we got to help ourselves. All right? And it's not being selfish, it's just where we're at. We give and we give and we give. Sometimes it's okay. I'm going to talk about, a little bit of self-talk and self-love here in a second. But anyway, you make it public. Throw a Facebook Live up. Tell people what you're doing. Throw a before and after picture. I've shared my before and after pictures too. Losing 30 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. Shoot, that classic line, if I knew then what I know now, shoot. Anyway, I'd probably still be playing. Right? Okay, so that's number 5. Tell a friend, make it public. Number 6, just start small. Kind of goes along with the first thing. Is people always want the pot of gold, but don't want to work for it. They're chasing the end of the rainbow, and they can never get there because there's too many things in the road, right? So start small. Drink more water. All right, add versus subtract. Those little things. It's got to be realistic. It's got to be attainable. So many people. Now, don't get me wrong. I want you to aim high. I'd rather you aim high and miss than aim low and hit. But they still have to be realistic and attainable, right? You don't want to be like jumping and completely miss the whole dang thing. Okay, so start small. The next one is number 7 is got to be repetitive. And don't worry, I'll put these all in the comments down below. Okay. It's got to be repetitive, something that can be repeatable. If you can't make it repeatable over time, you got no chance. That's the whole point of doing one thing, doing one small thing over and over and over again. Get a water bottle, fill it up with water, and then drink it. Okay, over and over and over again. It's repeatable. It's easy. Something like that. All right. If you do too many things, that's one. Less than 5% are ever going to make it happen because they pile too many things on top of themselves. So pick one thing and then work it out. Okay. Next one, number 8 is I mentioned it already. Make it public. But if you need help, hire a coach. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, thinking you're going to get a different result. And it's the same reason why I keep doing these Lunch with Baums, talking about a lot of the same thing. Goal setting. How do I make something a habit? Over and over and over again. Those little things that you do repetitively over time, it's like hitting, right? None of the kids like hitting on a tee, but it's the best thing that they can do. Get on a tee and just drill. Repetition. All right? let's see, going to the next one. So anyway, if you don't know how, hire a coach. That's the thing. Number 9 is celebrate progress. I think one of the biggest things that we don't do enough is we got to give feedback. We got to give praise. And I'm talking about praise if you're coaching someone, but also self-praise too. One of the things that I love to do is just some self-gratification. One of the things, cut this out. All right, call coming in. Had to shut that up. Anyway, I have this stuck on my computer. This one, I did this lunch with Baum the other day, is just 5 daily reminders. And it says at the top, it's backwards to you, but it says, repeat these daily. And it says, I'm amazing. I can do anything. Positivity is a choice. I celebrate my individuality. I'm prepared to succeed. And repeat those every day. And one of the biggest things, like everybody says, oh, gosh, you're so loud and whatnot. Norm's in the house. What's up, my man? Baum's World. That's right. My plan. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, but I say, here's the thing, is positive self-talk is so powerful, but people don't do it. It's easy for us to say negative. It's easy to shake our head and say no, right, Tina? All right, we're working on changing that. If you struggle with negativity and you're always boo-hoo me, and it's, just write some things down, something as simple as this, and then just talk them out loud. But here's the key, is the more negative you are, the louder you have to talk positive. All right, I have this stuck on my computer at school because I come in each day and we're faced with adversity and whatnot, and it's that classic, right? Check up from the neck up. Is I just repeat those positive things to myself every day, and then I'm going to attack the day with enthusiasm, because if I can rub off on other people, then that's truly what I want to be able to do. So that's number 9 is celebrate the progress, right? You got to celebrate yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself how amazing you are. And that's not being self-centered or conceited or whatever. It's just what you need to do to change your mindset so that you flip it into a positive. I love the 2 guys behind me. Courage, excellence. All right, you got to go out and you got to want it, and you got to want to be able to do something different. And then number 10 is stick with it. Stick with it. The start is what stops most people. The people that always complain about, don't complain about things you're not willing to change. Okay, but if once you get into the rhythm of kind of doing it, stick with it. Stick with it and keep going. And I'm going to just kind of go backwards. Let's see. What's up, Scott, my man? What's happening? See, I got to look at this. See if I can see more. He says, I have a freshman. Oh, battery going down. He says, I got a freshman. The health class students yell out something positive about themselves. When they first do it, they feel silly, but the louder they get. Hey, it is straight up, right? It's crazy. The louder you say it, the more positive you are, and the louder you say it, the more that you believe it, because the more that you hear it, it just starts getting ingrained into your head. So, but the big thing is stick with it. And I mentioned earlier, everything works for 6 weeks, but you got to stick with it. 90 days, you get to that 90-day point. You get to that 90-day point, and a year later, you're still doing the same thing because you celebrated progress. I'm just reading these backwards to you. All right, you got to stick with it. That's number 10. You got to celebrate progress. You got to ask for help if you don't know how. Hire a coach. Make sure that it's repetitive. Start small. Tell a friend. Make things public. All right, add versus subtract. Make things smart. The goal is to keep the goal. And you got to pick one thing. All right, and keep those things and just keep doing it. Repetition. That's where the success is going to come. Okay, so once again, if you value what I got going on, please like it and share it. I appreciate every one of you. If you're struggling to create the habits that you want, if you can't get to your goals, this is week 4. We're gonna literally wrap up January next week. We're going to wrap up January next week, and if you're not 1 month into your goal, 4 weeks, whether it's weight loss, whether it's performance, whether it's job, whether it's your money that you're making, it doesn't matter what it is if you're not a month closer to what your goals are, then you got to do something different. Hey, I appreciate you too, Scott. Thanks for watching and chiming in. Let's get on the phone, man. I'll message you my number. I'd love to connect. I always love connecting with other strength coaches, PE health teachers. fitness coaches, you know, the more that we can share, the more connection we can have. It's that community, right? If we've got more connection with people, the better off we're going to be. So let's connect, man. But anyway, remember, 10 things that you got to do to make a life habit. All right? Lunch with Baum, I'm out. I'm going to, if you want a bonus footage, jump over on my Instagram. I'll let that run for a couple more minutes. But once again, check out my MVP. I'll drop that down below. I have all of these comments on my Facebook. 10 things are there. If you need a pick-me-up, you need motivation, you need a little bit of help. Number 8 was hire a coach. Give me a holler. I'm here for you. Okay? Lunch with Baum, out.